Hey everybody, Dawn McGee here, your wellness strategist and nutrition evangelist. And yes, I'm still talking about planning. And if really that sounds like the teacher from Charlie Brown, the wah 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 to you, this is the one you want to listen to because I'm going to talk about what planning has done for me over the last week. So, you know that I've been talking about planning the big stuff first. It's just like the analogy of putting big rocks in the jar and then you fill it with the next size down and then the smaller rocks and then the pebbles and then you fill in your cracks and crevices with the sand, right? And I think of the sand as the unexpected stuff, like having a flat tire that needs to be fixed, like needing to take the car back to the dealership because it's not driving as well after you get the new tires as you had hoped. That's what my son's dealing with this week. In addition to more exams and more papers and making appointments to look for housing next weekend. Anyway, so that's the benefit, right? That's what happens when you leave space for the small pebbles and the sand. And those are some not so fun examples, but here's a really fun example of it. So, I've got my big trips planned this year. One of the things that I did this week was book flights for my October trip to Italy. And so that I know I've got the bookends, I've got the flight in country and I've got the flight out of country. I've got some of the stuff planned because I'm going on a culinary retreat for one of the weeks. Then I've got a couple of days at the beginning where we'll be wandering around Milan, and a few days at the end. Maybe we'll do Verona, maybe we'll fall in love with Milan and decide we want to go back to Milan instead. Who knows? But we've got the space and the freedom to fill in those cracks and crevices. Um, and if I was leaving the flights to the last minute, then all I would have time and bandwidth for is to plan those flights, and I'd miss out on all the cool stuff that I could do in the nooks and crannies. Another great example is I was driving and on the radio I heard about um, totally old school, but yes, I'm a child of the 80s, that Howard Jones and Wang Chung and English Beat and Modern English are coming to Boston at the end of the summer. And so I thought, well, how fun would that be to go into Boston for a concert in the middle of August and just, hang out and enjoy. And so I got tickets for that because I knew what my schedule looked like. I knew that I wasn't going to be traveling that week. I knew that my son did not have to be back to school that week. I knew what the big stones and even the next size smaller stones looked like in my calendar. And so I could easily do something fun this far in advance. And I'm kind of super excited about that, right? The fun stuff that makes it all worthwhile. Because there's drudgery in every day, right? You may be in the business that you are in because you love doing what you do. I know I am. And yet there's drudgery in all of it, right? I am behind excuse me, in downloading my Quicken statements for Q1, right? I try to do that right at the end of each quarter. And I haven't done that yet. It's on my list of things to do. I'm behind in some of the drudgery stuff, right? It's time for some spring cleaning of my office. You guys get the good view. You've got my Zoom wall behind me, right? With the beautiful pictures and the photos that my son took and my plant that's thriving and all that sort of stuff. But the rest of it, yeah, could use some spring cleaning, right? So there's drudgery around, and in order to get through the drudgery, for me, this is how I manage my brain and my motivation is I need to have some fun stuff to look forward to. So I hope that helps a little bit with the balance between the good stuff, the fun stuff you're passionate about, and the drudgery stuff, and why I am so passionate about planning being important, having systems that make your life and your business run smoothly. Um, and if you've got questions, let me know. Pop them into the comments. I have a couple of single sessions available over the next 6 weeks before I head out to Portugal and Spain for a couple of weeks. Of course, I'll be coming to you live from there as well. But in the meantime, if you need help getting your spring cleaning kicked off, I am here for you. As always, I hope for you that you live a life you love without giving up the things that bring you joy.